I'm here at the Chicago Temple, where Chicago's mayoral candidates are ready to push their platforms to the general public. Overall, Manuel is excited to step into his role as the university's 13th president, with a passion for its community and mission. According to James, students can expect the Loop Life office to be in full swing this academic year. Even though the office is still under renovations, OSI is building up its presence in the Loop in other ways. Here at DePaul, there's a demon who brings joy to many students. Now, this isn't a fairy tale or superstition. I'm talking about Demon in a Blue Suit, or DIBS for short, DePaul University's mascot. Regardless of whether you choose to wear a mask or not, take care of yourself, take care of others, and take care of DePaul. Here at the O'Hare Airport's Terminal 5, international travelers will be welcomed into the city by Chicago artists through their art. Whether you're registered to vote in Illinois or another state, it's important to participate in democracy and vote for candidates you believe in. See you at the ballot box. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Lily Lowndes.
A few months ago, they said they didn't know who I was. Well, if you didn't know, now you know.
That was Cook County Commissioner Brandon Johnson. After Election Day, not only Chicagoans, but people across America know who he is. One of the two mayoral candidates advancing to Chicago's runoff election.
This city has never really been the city that works for everyone, but it will be when I am mayor.
And that was Paul Vallis, a former CEO of Chicago Public Schools and the candidate who finished Election Day with the most votes. The last day of February marked Election Day in Chicago. A record number of voters cast their ballots through mail and early voting. In Chicago, if no candidate receives 50% of the votes in the mayoral election, the top two candidates advance to a runoff election on April 4th. That's exactly what happened in the race for mayor. Political expert and DePaul journalism professor Chris Bury says the wide field of 9 candidates made it easy to predict a runoff, but difficult to predict who the top two candidates would be.
In the last few weeks, it was pretty clear that Paul Vallis was going to get one of the two spots, but it wasn't at all clear among Mayor Lightfoot, Brandon Johnson, and Chuy Garcia who would get the second runoff spot.
Incumbent Mayor Lori Lightfoot was unsuccessful in her bid for a second term, becoming the first Chicago mayor in nearly 40 years to fail in a re-election campaign. Bury cited the pandemic, high crime, and fighting with political adversaries and allies alike for why many people did not vote for Lightfoot.
So at the end of the day, this referendum was about Lori Lightfoot. And it was clear from the results that most Chicagoans were not satisfied with her tenure over the last 4 years. And that's the major reason why she lost.
Bury says that right now Vallis and Johnson are evenly matched. Ultimately, it will come down to how well the two candidates can spread their message leading up to the April 4th runoff. Until then,
it's going to be a wild 5 weeks. Buckle your seatbelts.
For Good Day DePaul, I'm Lily Lowndes. Here at DePaul, there's a demon who brings joy to many students. Now, this isn't a fairy tale or superstition. I'm talking about Demon in a Blue Suit, or DIBS for short, DePaul University's mascot. Students embrace DIBS as a central part of university culture.
DIBS? I love DIBS.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
He's super fun.
I'm a personal DIBS biggest fan.
I think DIBS just adds life and happiness. I feel like whenever people see him, it just hypes everybody up and makes everybody really happy.
We love DIBS!
DIBS is known as the spirit of DePaul and its athletic program. He appears at all types of campus and sporting events. DIBS enhances the DePaul experience. No one knows that better than Thea Chatlin, a member of DIBS's crew. She accompanies him at basketball games and other university events.
It doesn't feel like work. It feels like they're just having a great time.
DIBS loves being around the DePaul community. He says the fans are his favorite part of being a mascot, and those fans love him right back. DIBS is a local celebrity at DePaul. No matter what event he's at, fans are always eager to meet him and take photos. If you're waiting for your opportunity to meet DIBS, you likely won't have to wait long. Alan Gordon, a freshman at DePaul, has already seen DIBS several times across campus, including at the career fair.
I think that he's a very involved mascot, which is really nice. You see him around all the time, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I think he has a lot to the campus. I think he's a good mascot.
Unlike most demons, DIBS is a symbol of cheer and goodwill. From his dance moves to his selfies, he's a pinnacle of school spirit, energy, and fun here at DePaul. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Lily Lowndes.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Dozens of protesters gathered on the corner of Ida B. Wells Drive and Michigan Avenue for a national day of protest in support of Palestine. Sisters Hanan and Dunia Salem were some of the first people to arrive at the rally.
So today I came out here to support my country, Palestine, because I feel we do need more attention to it.
The protest called for justice for Shireen Abu Akleh, a journalist who was shot and killed while reporting in a Palestinian refugee camp. Abu Akleh was a Palestinian American who reported for the news station Al Jazeera.
She is and was a household name who, in her own words and actions, brought the voice of Palestinians to the entire world.
Many Palestinians feel Abu Akleh was shot by an Israeli soldier, but Israel says it could have been either side.
No! Stay silent! No!
The protest was held on May 15th, also known as Nakba Day, marking 74 years since the loss of the Palestinian homeland.
We are also gathering to commemorate the 74th year of Al-Nakba, a catastrophic period seared in the minds, hearts, and memories of Palestinians globally.
Palestinians and allies alike organized in support for Palestine.
It felt important to come out and show solidarity.
I'm really proud of the turnout we had today. I think it's amazing that everybody's here to come support our own, we're all like a one big family. We show that we care and love for each other.
Despite the rain, hundreds of protesters took to Michigan Avenue, marching with banners, signs, and flags. The protest wasn't the only action Students for Justice in Palestine took. The organization also urged people to call their representatives to ask for justice for Shireen.
Justice for Shireen, justice for Palestinian people, and justice for Palestine.
For Good Day DePaul, I'm Lily Lowndes. I'm here at the Chicago Temple, where Chicago's mayoral candidates are ready to push their platforms to the general public. Chicago currently has a wide field of 9 candidates, including current Mayor Lori Lightfoot, U.S. Representative Chuy Garcia, former CEO of Chicago Public Schools Paul Vallis, and businessman Willie Wilson. DePaul Public Service professor Nick Kacherubis says it's likely that a majority won't be reached in the first round of voting.
I think the potential for a runoff today is pretty high. Lori Lightfoot, while she has a record to stand on with, I would say, some very positive accomplishments, she also has a lot of negatives.
At the Women's Mayoral Forum, Lightfoot's opponents brought up what they called some of the shortcomings of her administration, including mental health clinics, homelessness services, and the city budget.
I fought the previous administration for closing down mental health clinics. I fought this particular administration for refusing to open them.
During the polar vortex, I had to sleep outside under the viaduct with folks who are unhoused because we couldn't get this administration to allow them to sleep in the police station while it was cold.
We gave the administration $85 million to spend on violence intervention. Less than $5 million is out the door.
Mayor Lightfoot responded by citing what she called her accomplishments as mayor and disputing some of the claims made by her opponents.
So I can't let you keep repeating the thing that's wrong, that you said during the budget, that we only spent $5 million. We've spent hundreds of millions of dollars.
The moderators of the forum were Carol Marine, co-director of DePaul's Center for Journalism Integrity and Excellence, and Cheryl Corley, an NPR correspondent. Corley talked about the value of forums like this.
It just really gives voters an idea of who these people are, where they stand on particular issues, and I think that's really important, especially when you have so many people in the race.
Jackie Grimshaw is the president of Chicago Women Take Action, which sponsored the forum. She says the forum allowed voters to hear about women's issues.
I mean, these are the things that we care about as women. So in terms of Chicago Women Take Action agenda, as well as the agendas of all of the other members of the Alliance, that's what their questions were about. You know, safety, domestic violence, reproductive rights. These are all women's issues.
Mayoral candidate Alderwoman Sophia King said she's glad important issues including mental health, education, crime, and housing were discussed, but feels there's a need to go more in depth.
I think we touched on the major issues. I think 90 seconds, you obviously can't do do justice to a lot of the issues.
Candidates will have more opportunities to spread their message to the public as we inch closer and closer to Election Day. They will continue to show where they stand on the issues and make their case for why they should be Chicago's next mayor. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Lily Lowndes. Here at the O'Hare Airport's Terminal 5, international travelers will be welcomed into the city by Chicago artists through their art. The international terminal is getting a revamp that will include the largest single acquisition of art by Chicago artists in the last 30 years. The project was commissioned by the Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events and the Chicago Department of Aviation. The art will be displayed in the baggage claim, passenger-level concourse, and as passengers head into the arrivals corridor, it features an exhibition curated by Yonit Behar, the assistant curator at the DePaul Art Museum, and Andrew Shackman. The two are the co-directors of the curatorial and design team, Behar and Shackman.
Airports are a place of a lot of tension, and it's really nice to have this layer of humanity and culture broadcast in that space.
The exhibition is called Del Otro Lado, the other side.
The idea is that the corridor and the airport in general is sort of this strange in-between space that you land into, right? It's almost like a non-place. These 17 openings gives you the idea of the other side of another space behind these walls of the airport.
The exhibition will have 17 new large-scale pieces that are 20 by 8 feet tall and 25 by 6 feet tall, all lined up on the right side of the corridor.
There's video, there's installation, there's neon work, there's photography, there's collage, digital collage. So it's really varied.
Behar said that having Chicago-based artists with a diverse range of experiences was an important part of the curatorial process.
In addition to working with different media, they also have different backgrounds and they identify differently. So that was really important.
According to Behar and Shackman, the pieces will act as a window into the artist's world and a window into the place where travelers have just arrived. Chicago. International travelers at O'Hare will soon experience these feelings through the diversity of Chicago art when the exhibition opens later this year. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Lily Lowndes.